you caught me working on my drains. How embarrassing. I'm supposed to be cleaning my apartment. Oh my. Well, now that you caught me, let me show you what I'm doing. This right here is a Bachmann gondola. And the Norfolk and Western. It's like $10 at the hobby store. The problem with the Bachmanns is they have their brand of coupler on them. They're not exactly compatible with the Accumate couplers that the Athearn and Atlas train cars use, which is a problem because they don't easily couple together. They're kind of hard. You kind of have to force the coupler in, and I'm afraid they'll damage the little couplers. Now, if you can see, I'm not really sure how well you can see this, but the Bachmann couplers are a little bit larger than the coupler on this hand here, the one I'm wiggling my fingers. This is a Atlas truck with the couplers. So what I'm going to attempt to do is convert this gondola to use Atlas trucks that have the Accumate couplers on them. Now, the problem is the trucks don't fit. The little thing here that holds the trucks on is too wide. So I got two choices. Actually three choices. I can either file the little hole here down, which I don't think is a good idea because I think it's going to be so thin it's going to break easily. Or I could file this down, which I think will be a little difficult, or just completely cut that off and just screw the truck on. And I think that's the method I'm going to use. These are tiny parts, so it's easy to drop actually. I have sawed off the little shank that the Bachmann truck was attached to on the gondola. This right here is an Atlas truck with a Accumate coupler. This is kind of hard to tell, but as you can see, I have weathered the trucks. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit. Not really. The trucks have been black. Oh yeah, you can. The trucks have been blackened, and there's rust spots on the springs and on the end of the journal boxes and other areas. And also the car has been weathered so that it looks very dirty, and there's some rust spots on various places. I can see from my visually that my truck is still going a little bit on a downward angle. And that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be pretty much level with the track. I originally purchased this building to be the Klotz Candy Company, but I since then decided to make this a tooling company because I found a factory that actually would make a better candy company than this building, because it actually has outside tanks for storing fluids. And I had purchased the corn syrup tank cars for the candy company. So as you can see, the tank cars are on the train that's running in the background. You see the brick is all weather. You see on the inside here the color of the brick, the walls. That's what the whole model color was. And you can see the outside is significantly different. It is not bright plasticky colors. It looks more like brick. And how I did that was, first I got a paintbrush, dipped it in my rust color paint, and brushed the paint onto a paper towel. And then just a little bit. I want to have some paint, but not a lot, because if I just applied the paint directly to the brick from dipping the brush, I just get a rust colored wall, one color. So what happens is if you dry brush, you leave some of the lighter plastic color in the background, but you darken some areas of it so that it's a darker color red. I then covered the walls with grimy black. Grimy black is probably one of my most favorite colors I have purchased. And that's what it is. It's grime. It's dirt. I mean, it's just filthy stuff. It's a really disgusting black. But it makes a good weathering. So I also very lightly dry brushed the grimy black over the red paint, which, as you can see, makes the building look a lot more aged. I also put in the window. You can see that there's windows in there. And the roof and the doors were painted with a metallic aluminum colored paint that's really shiny, which was really good because I wanted it to look like real metal. It actually, as you can see, it does look pretty good. Now, the roof, as you notice, is rusty because this is a steel roof. And the rust is painted on by getting, again, the rust color, dry brushing the rust color onto the roof with acrylic paint. This right here is a Lifelike a professional series locomotive. It is really nice. It's a really nice locomotive. They had it on sale for about 50% off, and so it cost me about $45. It's not a bad price for a locomotive. And it's also Burlington Northern, which is nice. It goes well with my BNSF. So it is really a decent locomotive. Now, one thing that I want to do is I need to paint the rails here white, because prototypically they had white where you climb up the well, let me show you. Where the ladders are, the rails would be white. See on that locomotive? So they didn't do that on this model. Isn't that a wonderful train? Ooh. Going through the tunnel, out the tunnel, back to the rail yard. As you can see from the layout, I've gotten quite a bit of work done on the mountains. I still need to do a little bit more scenery items. I need to eventually get some rock castings, or I'll just find some rocks outside that closely match what I want to do. Because underneath the coal mine, it's a flat surface there. I need to actually make it look like, you know, granite or something. And the tunnel mountain, I'm just going to paint some of these rock outcroppings the right color, because they're the right shape and feel. It's just they're not the right color. I painted over to plaster, and it looks really, really nice. I still need to adjust the height of the ledge for the coal mine and do a little bit more work on that area. And this corner right here, I'm going to make this just an angled slope. Be a nice little area for trees, maybe a small building of some sort. Over in that corner, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. Probably a road or something coming through there and across the tracks into town. You know, when I get the buildings, you know, it'd be easier to determine what I'm going to do with this side of the layout. Is really nicely painted. The brick was actually, yeah, that's not good. It survives because I glued it really well. If anybody has any suggestions or idea, or better yet, money, let me know. And oh, by the way, the shirt right here, the "Don't Annoy the Crazy Person," that is my disclaimer. No, I'm just kidding.